Ladies and gentlemen, friends old and new, we thank you for coming today. Randall, Jay, Kinky Kelly, I'm sorry that the sexy stud could not make an appearance, but we appreciate you for coming tonight to appreciate and to commemorate the life and death of Clerks, because we are damn well never getting Clerks 4. Amen!
That was sick. That was really cool.
Okay, no.
I like it. I like it.
You gotta be fucking kidding.
Here's the first movie.
Did you know I'm utterly insane?
Peel that pig and slice him thick.
The body count is always bigger.
Hi, I'm Chucky. Wanna play?
And the fucking trees walked in those movies.
Hi, doggy.
What a story, Mark.
The greatest trick the devil ever pulled.
It's just like your opinion, man.
Life moves pretty fast.
If you want your sequel to become a franchise.
37 dicks.
In a row?
I'm your number one fan.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Marathon Me with your hosts, Rhys
And Kane.
And we are back today with our last entries in the Kevin Smith Rewatch-a-thon. And it's another double episode with two fairly sort of similar, yet very different films from Kevin, which is Clerks 3 and the 4:30 movie. In the realm of Kevin's anthology of existentialism post-heart attack, we've broken out of the development hell of Clerks 3 to finally get a trilogy. And the first trilogy from Kevin Smith.
It's actually insane because when I was younger, having started getting more, first getting into Kevin Smith's films and having watched Clerks and Clerks 2 for the first time, I was seeing rumors about a Clerks 3 happening since, I feel like 2014 I'd been reading about this. And I was thinking, that's probably never going to happen kind of meme. Like the supposed Mallrats sequel that was going to come out. And then poof, I remember Rhys sending me the trailer and I was like, oh my god, this is actually happening, and here we are, a couple years, maybe I think 2.5 years removed from Clerks 3's release?
Yeah, exactly. It was came out in 2022, and then it was quite delayed to come out here in Australia because there was absolutely zero theatrical distribution here.
Yeah, insane.
We had to wait until it came direct to fucking streaming. So us humble down-underers could not see Clerks 3 in a cinema. How sad.
Horrible.
And I was having a conversation with some dudes from the Movie Nerds, which is like a sort of online group with a couple of different dudes that, they host screenings, and they have an Instagram account.
Was that the ones that hosted the American Pie 25th end of...
Oh, okay, they hosted an American Pie screening recently. That was fantastic.
They're sick. They're cool.
Yeah. And essentially, what one of the Movie Nerds guys were telling me was that for Clerks 2, they had a premiere here in Australia at the State Theatre. This is a 1,000 plus seat cinema.
Wow. Okay.
Which had Kevin Smith in attendance, Jason Mewes, bunch of the other cast to have a Q&A after the screening.
Yeah.
And they filled this cinema.
Really?
Yeah.
When was this?
When Clerks 2 came out. So when,
Clerks 2 or Clerks 3?
Clerks 2.
Okay.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying, is that Clerks 2 filled the State Theatre, which is one of the most sort of, probably... elevated movie theaters in Australia.
It has a sense of prestige to it.
It does. As in, I saw Zendaya there about a year and a half ago.
Was that for Challenges?
For Challenges.
Right, yeah.
Saw Austin Butler there around a year ago for the bike riders. And Kevo, our boy Kevin Smith, was there. But then, Clerks 3, you can't even go to a freaking Village or Hoyts cinema and watch Clerks 3 there.
No. Village and Hoyts, that doesn't surprise me. I feel like those places would not distribute a film like this. You'd have to go somewhere like Kino or the Astor or Cinema Nova, or some of the more independent cinemas. I feel like that would play this. You would not be able to see it.
Well, that didn't even happen. And a big reason that Clerks 3 took so long to actually happen in the first place is that since Clerks 2, Brian O'Halloran was he said, I am locked in. If you want me to do another one of these movies, I'll do it in a heartbeat.
I know what you're going to bring up. Yeah.
But Jeff Anderson, it took a lot of effort and pushing and demands from Kevin.
I'm so curious because like I intentionally didn't do that much research for Clerks 3 so we could talk about it more in depth. But like, why did Jeff Anderson not want to be in it? Was it like a fan backlash, or like did he just like not like the spotlight that it had on that like he was put into?
So a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B, in the way that Jeff Anderson, who plays our buddy Randall in these movies, he doesn't really like acting. Like he much prefers being behind the camera.
Yeah. Right.
And
like it's kind of like a job. Like it's like he's one of those kind of actors. Like it's just a job to me, kind of.
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That's fair enough. There's a lot of actors that I respect that like that's how they view it, and it's like, you know what, that's fair enough. Yeah.
And then when Clerks 2 came about, he was so not keen on the movie because he thought this is a film that doesn't need a sequel. It's like Clerks was a freaking like, you know, lightning in a bottle.
Right,
we don't need to see what these characters are doing now.
Yeah.
And then the script of Clerks 2 convinced him.
Yeah.
And then,
good script.
And then the idea of Clerks 3 came around, and Kevin, like in the sort of late 2010s, had the script finished. And everyone was, most of the people on board that needed to be on board.
Yeah.
But Jeff Anderson was like, no, this is a bad idea, Kevin.
Right,
You shouldn't do this.
Yeah.
Was so stern about that. Was not just like, I don't want to be a part of this. Was like, as your friend, I don't think this is a good idea. And apparently the script was a totally different Clerks 3 to what we actually saw.
Right, okay. So,
it was...
Right, yeah.
It was pre-Heart Attack as well.
Yeah.
And
it was... Could you imagine?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Could you imagine like a Yoga Hoses era Clerks 3?
The Yoga Hoses take over the quick start.
Oh, God, that would be fucking dreadful.
No, apparently, it was much darker than what we got. And this movie is a pretty dark movie.
Oh, my God. Yeah, no, we got to some, like, really, because, like, the first two Clerks movies, they had, like, their dark elements to it. Like, but with this one, it's literally on Wikipedia. It is literally labeled as a black comedy drama. And because, like, yeah, it is probably the most dramatic and also kind of the most, like, you know, fucked up kind of Clerks movie. I mean, you know, obviously we had bestiality in Clerks too, but that was like played for laughs, you know, it wasn't played completely straight like some of the shit that we see in this film, you know?
Yeah, there's a lot of darkness here that isn't comically dark.
Yeah,
Even the alternative ending of Clerks 1 with Dante being killed, right? Is even sort of based in comedy. It's a really dark ending.
Yeah. It's literally like to juxtapose. It's really just to be like to juxtapose kind of like the whole point of Dante's character in the first movie to then just be like, nah, you're dead. That's the joke kind of thing.
The joke being like, and he wasn't even supposed to be here today.
Yeah, exactly.
Where this one is much more explicitly dark and essentially, and then the whole new post-Heart Attack Kevin Smith came to life and wrote a new version of the Clerks 3 script.
Yeah.
And Jeff Anderson said, okay, let's do it.
All right, buddy, I'll do it.
Yeah. That's exactly what he said in that exact voice.
Yeah.
And a little bit of the synopsis of this movie is that essentially Dante and Randall, they now are owning the quick stop. They're back and this is their life. They're in their early 50s.
Yeah.
And the status quo of this world is that it's quite sort of monotonous. And Dante has gone through something pretty awful. Is that pretty much just after the events of Clerks 2?
That hit me like a fucking truck rewatching that point where it's like, oh my God, this is like... You explain kind of why.
Is that Becky, the love that Clerks 3 was all about realizing and being able to, you know, find, make room in your life for this love.
Yeah.
Becky and his unborn child are killed in a car accident.
Legit. When I saw the photo commemorating her death that said 2006, I was like reminded, I'm like, oh my God, yeah, this is like right after Clerks 2. That's why I found it hard to kind of rewatch Clerks 2 because I'm like, oh wait, yeah, because like she dies shortly after this.
It is potentially the week of Clerks 2 finishing.
Oh, don't make me think about that, man.
Like, as in everyone's happy and everything's in a good place now, but then Becky's fucking dead.
That's so fucked, honestly.
And then essentially what happens in this movie is that Randall has a heart attack. And in this existential review of his own life, he thinks, I've got to make a movie about my life. And essentially makes Clerks. And that's what this film is about. And here's a bit of the trailer of Clerks 3.
how we did it in the 90s, son.
Can't catch my breath, man.
Really? Should I try mouth stuff?
What is this, a Tinder date? Get off of me. Oh, shit.
Mr. Dante!
I need an ambulance at the quick stop.
Saved my life, man. Wish I had a life worth saving.
What are you talking about?
Sit around and watch the same movies over and over.
I always thought you could have made a cool movie.
You're right. I'm living on borrowed time. No more watching movies.
I'm gonna make a movie!
What's the movie gonna be about?
It's about him working here.
Meta.
Everything in the script is something either me or someone I know said.
I'm not even supposed to be here today. Maybe Jay and Silent Bob could be characters.
Jay and Silent Bob are like C-3PO and R2-D2. They've been here since the first movie, which was the last time they were cool. But they've been with the franchise so long, they still give them cameos and put them on the lunchboxes.
Snifty Booches!
Please tell me
They believe in you.
You put in that stuff you used to say about the Death Star contractors.
Get sued by Disney? No way.
Now that's what I call acting!
Take off your pants!
What the hell is this?
I added a scene where you get shot.
I'm not letting you kill me off in the third act. What if there's a sequel?
A sequel? What am I, a hack?
So we had a very complicated and mixed bag of a reception watching this movie for the first time. We'll get more into this later, but Kane, watching it now with a little bit of time removed, what did you feel about it?
This was probably the most excited I had been to like watch like a Kevin Smith movie. I can't lie, and honestly, I quite liked it. I enjoyed it. There was some moments that I genuinely like. It's not perfect. It's still like, it still has some of the Kevin Smith mannerisms that I don't like, and there's plenty of like production issues that I have problems with. But when the film hits, it fucking hits. I cried watching this. I sobbed like I sobbed like a bitch watching this movie. I like straight up sobbed like a bitch watching this, man. I can't lie.
Dude, I'm the same that I also sobbed in this, but I feel a little bit how I felt with Zack and Miri.
Right.
In this, like, almost manipulated way.
Really?
Where, like, the first 2 acts of this film, I'm like, this is bad. This is really, really bad.
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
really did not enjoy myself. And I was like, oh, why is it so ugly and unfunny and so just, like, way too slapstick for me. Like, the characters fucking... Like, the beauty of Clerks, especially in comparison to a lot of the other sort of viewer skew characters, is that I feel like the Dante and Randall are quite grounded people.
Yeah, they feel like real people, yeah. Like, we literally, like... They felt so real that we basically kind of, like, inserted us into those personalities.
100%, man. And then this movie is full of just, like, everyone's cartoonified a little bit. Dante and Randall, granted, I think they're still the best parts of this movie.
I was going to say, like, Dante and Randall don't feel that cartoon. They still feel, like they feel the most true to themselves in terms of, like, characters in the Clerks trilogy kind of thing. But I do agree that, like, apart from those two, everything else does... maybe not cartoon, but it feels a bit, like a weak Flanderization, a lot of these characters.
Yeah, like,
where you get one where they're kind of like very one note kind of thing, which, like, some of it I don't mind. We'll get more into it soon, but there's some characters that, like, they have kind of one joke, and some of it worked more for me than others. But obviously we'll get into it later.
I think we can get into that now in the way that, like, this is a movie of, like, every character is a part of a duo of some sort, right?
Yeah. That's such it's strange a little bit.
And I think that other than the Dante and Randall duo, none of the others work.
Yeah,
Elias, who sadly time has not been kind to Elias.
No. I mean, dude, time hasn't really been kind to fucking Dante either.
Yeah.
Obviously, with, you know, excluding the death of his wife and unborn child, just like, God damn, you can tell that man is aged, dude.
Yeah.
Obviously, the grief would have aged him as well, but, like, you can tell that man is aged. Meanwhile, like, watching Jeff Aniston on screen, honestly, it seems like, bro, Jeff Anderson's actually aged pretty nicely.
He
I will
has,
say
yeah.
he actually like looks good for his age. But yeah, for Elias, you watch Clerks 2 and then you see him in this. It's pretty fucking yikes. Like, it's scary, bro. It's very scary.
It confronts us with our own mortality.
Legit though.
It's like, oh fuck, oh fuck, is that what's gonna happen to me?
Oh my god, yeah.
And like his duo is that he's got his little silent Bob named Blockchain Coltrane.
I'm confused. Actually, was that his son? Was that his friend? His brother? Like, did they explain it in the film? I thought he was his son for the longest time.
Okay, so it's not his son. I think that it's like his cousin or brother or something.
Right.
I'm pretty sure that they're related.
Yeah, okay.
But this is his sidekick nonetheless, who is played by Austin Zager, who is Harley Quinn Smith's boyfriend and has been for years.
Oh, okay. It makes sense for the scene between them two later. Okay.
Yes, yes.
Jesus
I know how
Christ.
cringe. Anyway,
That's egregious. Come on.
And yeah, so Blockchain Coltrane is freaking awful. I hate him in this.
I didn't hate him. He's just didn't do anything for me. He was just nothing. He was a nothing burger of a character.
He's a fucking slapstick character in this, and it felt so ill-fitting, I thought. And like him and Elias, I thought just felt so like they didn't need to be in this.
No,
I would have preferred if they weren't main characters.
I feel like Elias. I feel like I feel like Elias did kind of need to be in this. Well, not need to be in it, but like, you know, at least should have been in this film because, you know, obviously the film ends with him being there, but maybe like not to the degree of how much screen time he shares in the film. There are I still enjoy the interactions between Elias and Randall and Dante. I still like that core, like, especially like, you know, the dialogue between Randall and Elias. I still enjoy, and also like I was going in kind of because I remember not liking how Elias was portrayed in Clerks 3 back when we last watched it. I didn't mind it so much this time. I fucking hate the fact that like NFTs play like the NFT stuff in this movie and how it actually like plays like a pivotal role in the climax of this film.
Yeah,
absolutely fucking ludicrous. And look, it's the same with like Kilroy is that like I appreciate like, you know, it is interesting for, you know, like it's a new medium for a director to like, you know, distribute a film with and also to talk about in film, but I don't want to see it. I've never been like into it. I've never found it interesting. I would listen to podcasts and they would then start talking about and shilling NFTs. And I'm like, shut the fuck up, cunt. And then with this movie, I went in knowing that was going to happen and I still rolled my eyes. I still wanted to die, but I still liked the Elias character in this film. I do like the whole... I mean, is it a bit cartoony in one note how he just is basically just a Satanist for the entire film after denouncing God? Yes, but maybe, I don't know. I liked the the constant costume changes and different wardrobe changes and just like... It was so cartoony, but it worked. It worked in a strange way for me. I found it a bit endearing. I found it kind of cute, honestly.
Oh, I really didn't like it. It felt so just
why do I even sound surprised? Like, I don't blame you, honestly. I don't blame. It's completely fair enough.
Like, these visual gags just never hit for me, and it's just like, oh, look, he's in another funny costume.
It's very un-Clerks, I will agree.
Yeah.
It is very, like, anti-Clerks. It's something that you would see in, like, a Jay and Silent Bob kind of movie, or hell, I could even expect it from, like, some, like, Mallrats, even.
And it just doesn't feel like a grounded world anymore.
No, that's completely fair enough.
Even Clerks 3 feels more Clerks 2 feels more grounded than this.
Yeah, oh no, definitely.
And that has a flash mob scene.
It has a fucking donkey show in it as well.
Yeah. And also this freaking NFT blockchain bullshit is very, very cringe. And it also shows how dated, already in 3 years, it feels dated.
I fucking know, man. Oh my god.
Which is so ironic that the whole NFT thing was that it's like, It's the future. It's the future of currency.
My fucking God.
Already feels fucking dated.
They're fucking shit, man.
But that duo just felt way too slapstick for me and like not real people. When there's this sort of really real story going on.
Yeah.
And then there's cartoon characters like a fucking Jar Jar Binks to come in and be like, "Oh, look at me, I'm silly. Look at me."
Yeah, no, it's completely fair enough kind of thing. I mean, hell, it's even like some shit that you see in like the MCU kind of thing, where it's like you're having a real story happen, but then you always just have to have these slapstick, quirky, snarky characters being like, yeah, that just happened. Kind of thing. Like that's what it kind of feels like. Like, while I don't hate it as much as you did, I completely understand what you mean by that, and it's not exempt from my criticism. Like, oh my days, man.
And even the other duo, the most iconic duo of Jay and Silent Bob, they of course appear in this. We can't be the quick stop if Jay and Silent Bob aren't there. My least favorite Jay and Silent Bob that I've seen.
I completely agree, man. One, I'm completely thrown off by Jason Mewes' veneers in this film. Like, okay, yes, okay.
Jay's teeth is a whole dot point.
It looks like, you know what it looks like? It reminds me of this one. It reminds me of there's this one movie that Justin Long starred in called, like, I think it was like It's a Wonderful Knife, and he has like these hideous fucking veneers in the film that make him just look like a fucking like they make him look like Jamie Kennedy in Son of the Mask, and that's how I felt seeing Jason Mewes in this movie. It looked like Jamie Kennedy in Son of the Mask.
But luckily for Jason Mewes, he's already got them fixed. He already looks a million times better since then.
Thank God. But yeah, no, it is definitely. They just. They didn't feel. It felt like them on autopilot.
They have no edge.
No.
Zero edge.
Yes, that's a great way to put it. Yes, because I was going to say autopilot. No, that is autopilot, zero edge. Like. Oh my goodness! It's like it felt so just kind of like almost like a half-assed version of Jay and Silent Bob, really,
and zero purpose. Like, as in they are just like in every fucking. That's the beauty of Jay and Silent Bob, right? Is that they are such side characters until it shows that those side characters can be so fucking important to your main narrative.
Yeah, legit. I mean, hell, they goddamn fucking funded the goddamn, the reopening of the Quick Stop at the end of Clerks 2, basically. Yeah. And then with this, it's like, what? The only purpose they serve is to, they want them to be cinematographers and do catering. They just want them as, like, members in the filmmaking project.
And it's only just to make references about the making of the first Clerks.
Completely.
Like, that's all that they're fucking there for.
Oh, don't even get me started on, like, the way that Jay like delivers his lines during the shooting segments of this film. Like, they do it the first time they do it, I'm like, oh my God, please do not tell me they're gonna do this the entire time, because I completely forgot about that. And then he's like intentionally trying to be like a bad actor. He's like, it's just, it's so terrible. It's actually terrible, man.
Well, maybe that didn't offend me as much because, like, all those little things are supposed to be references about the actual production of Clerks.
Yeah, sure.
As in that, apparently, Kevin has said this for freaking ages, that filming the first Clerks, like, Jason Mewes just played himself as Jay, right?
Yeah.
And, he'd be swearing, he'd be charismatic, he'd be over the top, and then the second that a camera was turned on and he had to do his thing, he'd be stiff and like, hey, motherfucker, what are you doing? And it's like, dude, just keep on doing what you were doing a second ago. And then camera turns off, he starts acting like himself, and it's like, just do that, man.
Okay, sure. With a bit of context like that, okay, I can see what they're going for with that, but still, it like I can't ignore my personal feelings towards like those kind of jokes as well.
It is a quite annoying thing to see, right? With the like artificial bad acting from good actors, right?
Yeah, completely.
And there's an entire scene of that when they're doing the whole casting call for the movie.
I kind of like that though. I kind of like the casting call, honestly.
I wish that I liked it because the casting call could be so good, but it's so obviously put together with sticky tape.
Like, oh my God, it's clearly like
it is so clearly people in their garage with a fucking green screen behind them for all these cameos.
Oh my God.
They're so obviously recorded at their homes or like a random fucking renter like storage unit close to their house, because you can even see that the curtains are different in almost every shot.
I wasn't crazy because I did kind of notice that, but I was like, okay, maybe it's like I don't know, maybe it's like just some error with the cinematography or whatever, because like, whatever, but like, yeah, no, it's clearly stitched together. I mean, dude, honestly, now that you bring that up, this whole kind of film feels like it's a bit stitched together in the editing department, because like, I thought it then, and I still think it now. The editing is kind of fucking awful in this.
Yeah.
Not even kind of. It is actually awful. Like, it feels like... You know what it feels like, honestly? It feels like whenever characters are having conversation with each other, because, you know, you cut from one duo, you know, you cut from Randall and Dante, and then just a shot just of them talking to the camera, then you cut to Elias and Blockchain talking to the camera. It feels like you're watching like a poor man's Peep Show almost. But with Peep Show, that was the fucking point of the goddamn show. That was like the whole kind of gimmick with it. With this, and look, I understand it was like, you know, because this was filmed during COVID, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so I understand, you know, COVID regulations, you know, you got to follow those. Fair enough, fine. But I can't ignore the fact that it is a detriment and a disservice to the film, because it is so, like, once you see it, it is so obvious, and God, it is horrible to look at.
It is blocked awfully, this movie.
I know, man.
It feels so cheap and awkward, and...
Oh, my God.
Oh, my... Like, one...
It feels more amateur than the first Clerks movie.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Oh, like, the fucking... One scene that comes into mind for me that feels so awkward is... when, like, I have this here in my notes as, like, the diversity casting scene, where the only black characters in this film are this family with the sassy wife and the husband who goes to the strip club, and they play this sort of hip-hop backtrack when they're on screen, and they're aligned in this so awkward, unnatural, like, three, with, like, the sassy mom in the middle, and then perfectly spaced out her daughter on one side who's just silent, and then the dad on the other side.
Does the daughter even have any lines in the fucking film?
No, she doesn't. Even though that she is for, like, she's writing for the school paper or something
legit,
like that. Like,
man.
she's the only sort of character there, and the only reason that they're there.
You know what it kind of feels like when that trio were introduced? It almost kind of feels like that they wanted to get, like, someone like Wanda Sykes, who was in Clerks too. Like, it feels like I can honestly see, like, Kevin trying to get her character to come into the film, and they couldn't get Wanda Sykes for whatever reason. They're like, okay, just get some other black female actress,
sassy black woman.
Yeah, legit, sassy black woman casting call.
Yeah.
Like, Jesus.
Oh my
also,
God.
God, Kevin, it's 2022, man. Like, we've all got to move past that trope. It's been done to death.
Yeah.
Come on.
It's so, very, very stuck together, this whole thing.
Oh my God, yeah. And yeah, again, context, you know, like, obviously we understand the context, but it, you know, we got to put that behind us, because be that as it may, it still looks fucking terrible.
It does. So sad.
Yeah.
And like, even with, okay, what are some of the cameos that you remember in the casting call? Because there's Ben Affleck.
There's Ethan Suplee.
Yeah, Freddie Prinze Jr.
Oh, I like the Freddie Prinze Jr. one. Fred Armisen comes back for like a little bit. I don't really remember whatever he said, but like I was like, oh, Fred Armisen, okay, it's a Hater Tots guy, cool. Epic.
Yeah.
Who the fuck else cameos?
Pretty much all the comic book men, I'm pretty sure. Oh, I know, all the comic book men, they show up for when they're playing Hockey on the Roof.
Wait. Also, okay, hang on. I never watched it. Do the Impractical Jokers make a fucking appearance in it?
Oh, I don't know.
I swear to God, during the casting call, I saw faces that looked like the Impractical Jokers.
You could be right. It was a fucking, like, a machine gun of cameos.
No, completely, man.
Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Sarah Michelle Gellar made a cameo?
Yeah.
Wait, where?
She's in the casting call.
Why did I not recognize her? But okay, what the fuck?
It was her, then Freddie Prinze Jr., and they have the same curtains because they are married and live the same house.
I did not notice Sarah Michelle Gellar. I noticed Freddie Prinze Jr. What the fuck? I mean, hey, we've kind of come a bit, you know, because like we got the Scooby-Doo reference in Strike Back, and then we actually got Fred Rogers in this.
I can't believe that Matthew Lillard has not appeared in a single Kevin Smith movie.
That's insane. That is actually fucking insane. Because like, he seems like the kind of guy that would jump on the opportunity to do something strange like that. He seems like the kind of guy that like he's like zoinks, yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, fucking hell.
The two really good performances, I think, in this movie, though, of course, Rosario Dawson who
for the limited screen time she has
Yeah,
while filming Mandalorian season 2.
Yeah, exactly.
No, she is great. She is great in this.
They do in the credits when they do all the thanking, you know, because Kevin loves his thanks.
Of course.
He does thank Rosaria for taking a break from Star Wars.
That's really cool of
Yeah.
her, honestly. Because one thing I really like about her is that, like, yeah, she's like she does a lot of mainstream stuff, but like she's always been like kind of like a character actor as well, because like, that's how she started off, as a character actor kind of thing.
You know what I thought was really, really fucking cool?
What?
Is that in an interview with Rosario Dawson, when people asked her, like, why did you want to come into the Clerks series? She says it's because on her bucket list with acting is she wants to be a part of every universe.
Ah, I see.
So she's part of the Star Wars universe, part of the MCU.
Technically speaking, yes.
Yeah,
she is.
technically, because
Yeah.
of Daredevil,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And now part of the Viewers universe.
Hell yes. Hell
Yeah,
yes.
so she just wants to be ever existent and immortalized.
I did not know that. I mean, I guess with the new James Gunn DC universe coming out, we're eventually going to see a Rosario Dawson cameo at some point.
Surely, if she's not already in there, then she'll be there soon.
Yeah, no, completely.
And it's so sickly sentimental and melodramatic though. Whenever Becky is in there, and whenever she does appear, like, she does such a good job, but
Yeah.
it's so like fucking film school level writing and direction. I think,
Right, yeah,
like as in when they're
Like,
at
how so?
when they're at the cemetery,
Yeah.
they're going to a gravestone, and then the ghost of the person that's at the
Okay, no,
what are you doing here, old man?
I completely. It literally sounds like something that like I would have written in like year 11. I
Yeah.
completely get it. It literally sounds like almost like not completely, but like almost like one of my original ideas for my year 12 final film. But it got me emotional, man. Like on a filmmaking and writing aspect, it's nothing really to write home about. And also, yes, it does feel very film school-esque, but because I love these characters so much, it still got me emotional. I straight up, it just got me emotional.
It is very film schooly, but you know, it's like film schooly in that way that it's like, okay, what is the direct emotion that we want to bring out here?
Yeah.
And it's sort of, I get you, I do feel that emotional stuff too, but I feel like in Zack and Miri, like I'm being manipulated almost.
Right, yeah. Alright, look, I understand what you mean by that. Like, it's completely fair enough, but like, what do you feel was more manipulative that for lack of a better word, piss you off more? Like the manipulativeness of Zack and Miri or Clerks 3? What do you think was more egregious and worse and more got a worse reaction out of you?
The manipulation, I got more pissed off at in Zack and Miri.
Right, yeah.
But I think that the film was worse, Clerks 3.
Okay, right.
Yeah. Like that's my sort of opinion. With Zack and Miri, because it's so much is legitimately down to like one or two scenes that fucking hooks you in.
Yeah.
Where here it is like, you know, the premise and the direction that the story goes in is quite good, I think. And it also feels like that it needs to be there.
Yeah, right. No, that's fair enough.
Also, Jeff Anderson is fucking incredible.
Oh, dude, he's so fucking good in this, man. Oh my days.
For a dude that doesn't like acting?
For a dude that had basically, I think, stopped acting post fucking Zack and Miri, pretty much, from what I recall. He's like on the top of his fucking game. And also, like, we gotta give flowers to Brian O'Halloran as well. His performance is genuinely like
heart-wrenching.
It's heart-wrenching, heartbreaking to watch. Like, you know, like both of them, you know, were like, you know, like having their fun, you know, had their moments to shine in the first Clerks. Jeff Anderson, I feel like really had his time to shine in Clerks 2, and then, you know, obviously he shines in Clerks 3, really does as well. But oh my god, Brian O'Halloran's performance in Clerks 3, genuinely, like, oh my fucking god, he was absolutely incredible in this. You really feel just the pain and fucking just sorrow that he's just like exuding right now.
Dante is fucking broken in this movie.
Yeah, no, he is a broken fucking man. That is a perfect way to put it, man. It's fucked.
Speaking of Zack and Miri as well, structurally, this film sort of turns into Zack and Miri. Like, as in, to the, like, oh, what? Like, let's see, what's at the end of the second, at the end of the first act?
With the whole making
the main characters realize, what is it to solve our problem? Let's make a movie, and they end up making a movie in their place of work.
Yes. Oh my god.
Yeah, which is also just a complete fucking self autobiographical thing with Kevin. But he's made the same movie twice then.
Wow.
But then casting all these sort of oddballs and weirdos. Usually just sort of casting his friends and sort of
this one feels a lot more autobiographical compared to Zack and Miri.
Of course.
It's almost like Zack and Miri was like a proof of concept for this idea of Clerks 3.
Yeah, and then even down to leading to this freak out in the third act and running away from the movie when filming the final scene.
Yes.
They both have that moment.
No, that is a completely valid point. I can't believe I actually did not make those connections.
Until then, it all comes together when both main characters end up in an editing suite to finish and finalize the movie.
Yes, I will want to ask you what since though both these films are kind of connected now, funny enough, what did you get more what did you get more out of the editing suite and then also the resolution of Zack and Miri or of Clerks 3?
Oh, well,
they're completely different tonally. I understand that, but I'm curious. I want to know.
I got more out of Clerks 3, but
Obviously.
because
fair enough.
of all the other sort of stuff behind it, right? Mm-hmm. Even though that it feels so much more amateur-esque and it's maybe not done as well.
Yeah.
But it really our buddy Cooper, right, said that he watched Clerks 3.
Right.
And we were like, oh my god, what did he think? And he went, it was fucking terrible. It was fucking awful.
Right,
there's nothing good about this. And he has not seen another Clerks movie, has not seen another View Askew movie.
Wait, he hasn't even seen the first two Clerks movies?
No, he hasn't.
Dude, okay, oh my fucking god. I remember my girlfriend was going to say, she's going to watch Clerks 3, and I'm like, no, dude, you need to watch the first two. I was like, you have to, okay? That's an order.
This film is impossible to watch without seeing at least the first two Clerks movies.
The film on its own is fucking, pretty terrible. Not terrible, but, I can understand why someone would think it's terrible.
Terrible. I would say it's terrible on its own. In isolation, I think it serves no purpose.
Okay. In isolation, yes, that is completely fair enough. Yes, it is completely fair.
Yeah, there's... I don't know if there would be any way or anything to even grab from this unless you know Dante and Randall.
Can I just ask you this? It's a bit, it'll be a quick thing. It's just a tiny bit off topic, but, what do you think of the soundtrack, at least in this movie? Or at the very least, the opening song? Because, Clerks 1 had, the classic...
the Black Parade?
Yes, what did you think of that?
Oh, I liked it. I really liked it.
I completely forgot that they opened with Welcome to the Black Parade. And for those who don't know, since 2024, I've gone really into a lot of a new metal, and also quote unquote emo music. My Chemical Romance. So going into this film and them opening with Welcome to the Black Parade, one is oh my god, I love this song. Fuck yes. But also it serves a bit of a purpose to the narrative of this film. It's a nice bit of musical foreshadowing for what we are going to see. Is it as hard hitting as say the first as the original movie's theme song, or even Nothing But Flowers from Clerks 2? I'd probably say no, but it's still, I think it serves a really great purpose, honestly.
It introduces and establishes to you, right, that it's this is going to be a bit of a harsh movie.
Yes.
It's going to be a bit emotionally hard.
I mean, dude, the film is literally, the song is literally about, fucking, accepting death. The song and the album are based on, accepting death kind of thing. Yeah.
And what an interesting time for this film to come with, it's all about sort of getting existential and reliving the glory days.
Yeah.
That's the entire sort of purpose of this, right? Is that these two 50-year-old men who are
almost like a midlife crisis kind of movie.
It is such a late midlife crisis movie.
Yeah.
Even, where Where it's what the fuck are our lives about? And then they make a movie about a simpler, better time.
Yeah.
And I think that now is time for us to maybe share a little bit about our first watch of the movie.
Oh, we're going to share it now? Okay.
I think so.
Yeah.
So, Kane and I watched this movie at a very poignant transitional period of our lives. It was when I first moved to Sydney in the first week, and I brought Kane up to Sydney with me. I wanted him to be there as a comfort person for this whole unknown new chapter of my life. And I think also you appreciated coming to, right?
Yeah, well, I had never been. It was also a big thing for me because this was like my first solo holiday I had ever done because I had gone to like, places like, King Lake, but that's like, regional Victoria, or like, like I went to Queensland, but that was with family. This is like my first ever like kind of solo holiday with just a mate kind of thing, and also my like first time like going interstate by myself. So it was and also because like this was going to be the time that I get to spend with my best friend and co-host before we both kind of start, Rhys obviously starting his own like new chapter in his life, and me in a way starting like a new chapter in my life where it's like I don't have this, this consistent force, this consistent like figure in my life, in a physical aspect,
Exactly, man. It was our last sort of hurrah together with us having to learn now how to live our lives without each other there for one another.
Exactly, yeah.
And in the last week, and it was also Kane's birthday in this week when he was here.
Yeah.
And for his birthday, I surprised him on the last day that we were here, that he was here in Sydney to visit me, that we were going to watch Clerks 3 together.
It was honestly mind-blowing. Like when I saw it on the TV screen, fuck, man, I was like, no fucking way.
It was perfect. And we had no idea what we were going to get into.
Completely.
Let alone that we were going to get into probably the most heart-wrenching movie experience that I've ever had in my fucking life.
Yeah, like I've watched plenty of like, films that made me cry, made me depressed, or blah, 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 blah. But like, this experience of watching Clerks 3 for the first time, given the context of like kind of our relationship at this point, like kind of the next chapter of our lives we're both going to take, let's just say it's hit fucking hard. I mean, like our opinions on the film, objectively, our opinions on the film were kind of like the same as it is now, like upon a rewatch, where we both kind of agreed that it was pretty messy, kind of not good, not really that funny kind of thing. But when the stuff that hits us, mainly like the dynamic between Dante and Randall in this film, and just like the fact that it's like this complete like uncertainty, and how given spoiler alert, Dante's death in the film, and Randall then has to explore this new chapter of his life with this like just air of uncertainty kind of thing, without this consistent presence of his best friend. It hit us so fucking hard at the perfect time. It was the perfect storm of plot, character development, and just the film to watch before us parting ways. Like literally, that day, I was literally leaving that fucking night to go home to start the Rhys-less journey.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The Rhys-less chapter.
The freaking like Kane, my Randall, having to deal with life without his Dante, which is Rhys, me, was freaking like, I was watching this like, what is going on?
Yeah.
Like, Kevin, did you make this for us for this 1 week? Like, what the fuck? And just this final act overall, when it starts, the writing is on the wall that Dante's gonna die. We're just in silence, and then the credits start rolling.
Yeah.
And we're speechless, and all I can think is like, Kane, did you just see what I saw?
And I'm like fucking, I just can't even barely talk. I'm just like, yeah.
And I want to try and unpack it and directly sort of talk about the lineup, like, of their lives versus ours in parallel.
Yeah.
And I can't even get it out without bursting into fucking tears. And then Kane and I just embrace crying on each other's shoulders. And I don't know if I've cried so hard in a film for a very long time, if ever.
For the viewers to know as well, is that I've seen this man get emotional. I've seen him tear up. I've seen him sad, but I've never seen him like bawl his eyes out. On the opposite side of the spectrum, he has seen me cry my eyes out kind of thing. But like it was a combination between like what we had seen in the film, the character that I grew to love, dying, and like the parallels between their dynamic and what we were going through at that point, and then also just the icing on the cake, seeing my best friend and co-host bawl his eyes out for the first fucking time. Like, it was a perfect storm that's just like I couldn't fucking hold it in either, man. Like, oh my fucking days. Like I'll think about it every now and again, like ever since having watched that film back in the day, and it still gets me emotional. Oh, I'm getting fucking emotional talking about this shit right now. Bloody hell. Like, unbelievable.
How could this movie, right, like be so simultaneously shit but emotionally impactful all at once?
It's insane, honestly.
I could not rate this on Letterboxd. I couldn't give this a star rating.
No, same,
it was
man.
simultaneously half a star and 5 stars at once. It was fucking unreal.
It's like I would give it like 5 stars for the experience.
Yes,
but as
six stars.
But as a film on its own, like I'd give it like the kindest I could have given it back in the day was like a 5 out of 10. Like a 2.5 stars out of 5 for for those confused.
And like this time around, when rewatching it, a little bit disconnected from it all, I was like, oh, okay, I don't think it's going to hit as much. It's not going to hit as much. And then this final act comes,
oh my fucking God.
And it got me again.
It's fucked up. I need to know what was the point where you started bawling your eyes out. I've got my nexus point. I need to hear yours.
Oh, fuck, man. I can feel it building again. It was this build-up in my throat, like this whole third act. But then the moment that the eulogy's happening and Randall says, and you weren't even supposed to be here today.
Oh, okay, so you cried later than I did. Okay.
It was you weren't even supposed...
Yeah.
When he says that and gets down on his knees, I wept.
Oh, my God, yeah.
Like, audibly was like...
Dude, yeah, nah.
It was... Wow, but fuck, it felt good.
You know, I cried a lot earlier during the... I was getting, like there were so many points during the film, like, you know, their conversation at the gravestone and all that, where, like, you know, Becky's, like, trying to, like, tell him to live his life, and, like, his kind of mental breakdown when they get to the movies, like, all that, and then even the conversation, the mental breakdown that Dante has before the heart attack, like, that was generally just, like, I felt disgusted watching that. I was like, oh my God, this is heart-wrenching to watch. Like, this is just a man just so broken and just like lashing out because of all this pain that he's gone through. And then it was, you know what it was? It was when he's in that movie theater watching the events of Clerks play out, and you know, she's like, "Don't you want to finish it?" And he says, "Don't worry, I trust the director." That's what I literally audibly said, "Oh my God!" And then boom, just fucking started sobbing. Like, I was my eyes were like red from fucking tears, bro. Like, I just kept going. And then when Randall said you weren't even supposed to, because like for every Clerks, every like movie involving the Clerks that we've watched, every time they would say, "I'm not supposed to be here today," or "you weren't," they'd say some variation of that line. I always wrote it down because I was just like, oh yeah, fine, let me write it down every instance. But with this, I literally I was like, I can't do it right now. I can't. I just need it. Like,
my thumbs aren't working.
Yeah, no, legit. I was like locked in. Like, that third act, I literally could not take any notes.
Yeah.
Like, I literally just put my phone down and just like was like watching, sobbing, and fuck, man, Jesus Christ.
Agreed. Fucking agreed. Oh, and how nice and sentimental it is that we watched this together for the first time my first week in Sydney, and now you're here.
Yeah.
And we're recording this in person in a week. I fucking leave, and I come back to Melbourne, and my Sydney journey is done.
That is fucking insane. Like, it's been insane, the concept of it, but the fact that we're actually talking about this now, doing this right now, is... what the fuck?
We're unpacking it as that chapter closes.
Jesus,
what the fuck?
Jesus Christ, man.
And that's why this was the perfect last fucking marathon for us to do.
Damn fucking true.
Now with this Kevin Smith
That's
marathon.
why, like, I'm so happy that you suggested that we don't record this episode when we were doing the when
we did yoga hoses.
Yeah, when we did the yoga hoses and everything, because like. It wouldn't have hit the same kind of thing, you know. Like I'm sure the ranking would have, like, you know, hit if we just did the ranking in person, sure. But like, Clerks 3 needed to happen with the two of us in person. Because like, what I think the last like in person recording we did was like maybe the Friday movies, maybe, or the Friday movies, but also like the short segments with Hannah for the Hunger Games kind of thing.
Yeah,
like
true.
those ones, but like, you know, those are just segments kind of thing. This is like our first in-person recording, and like fuck, could not have been more of a perfect thing to do, like perfect time and film to do it with, you know.
And like even though the movie not being that fucking great of a film, it's that final act that made me relive that experience that I had with you.
Yeah.
I was there again on that freaking couch in Botany.
Yeah.
And it was like that. This film is gonna have so much power and live in my fucking soul for the rest of my life.
No, honestly, you are so fucking right. Like as a film itself, even though like I feel like I've kind of warmed up to it a bit more as a film itself compared to our first viewing of it. It will always like even if a lot of it isn't really that good or great, like or you know, not great or anything. Just that what it represents, I think, is so fucking important, and it will always stick. It's going to be one of those films that sticks with me just for what it represents, you know.
Completely, man, and it feels like that is the most sentimental of the fucking king of sentimentality, Kevin Smith.
Damn straight. Oh my god.
Is Clerks 3.
Yeah.
It's like this. It's got his rough around the edges. It's got the vulgar humor. It's got the freaking amateuresque cinematography. But man, it has heart.
It has so much fucking heart. Oh my god. It's like, you know how like I mentioned in Clerks, I was a bit disappointed where like I got emotionally invested and like it did hit me, but it didn't hit me the way that I wanted it to this time around. Clerks 3, I was a tiny bit worried that it would also be the same sequence with Clerks 2, but like it hit me the same way it did back like 2.5 years ago.
Yeah.
It's insane. Oh my god. And then even just that little speech that Kevin does in the end credits.
Oh.
Like that was just love. I completely forgot about that as well. And just hearing that, like I didn't cry during it, but like I did well up kind of thing. And just hearing like just how earnest and like thankful he is. And despite the 2010s period honestly being kind of a like, you know, pretty shit time for Kevin Smith, like the quality of his films and just like kind of like where he kind of was as a director, not the greatest. It's like okay, like it felt like a warm hug from this guy. It's like yes, okay, you're not perfect. You've kind of, like, in some ways you've fallen off a little bit, but, like, you still have it. You still have it kind of thing. And it's still that same yapping nerd that has that, like you said, that heart, that big heart, you know?
Yeah. And what a way to fucking bookend it, right?
I know, man. Fucking
like,
hell.
it almost should have been, like, his last movie.
I honestly...
Like, even with fucking, like, when they make the Clerks in this film, like... They just show that Randall and Dante are watching Clerks, the original one. And like, it's almost like that should have been I think that it is the last of an era for him.
Yeah, no, completely.
And it's like the day that, like Dante is fucking Kevin Smith. Like, and it always has been.
No, yeah, completely.
And it's like the day that Dante dies is like the day that this concept of Kevin Smith almost dies.
It's not only like, you know, we riffed about this in the intro, but it's like, it is not only the death of Clerks, because, yeah, we're not getting Clerks 4, and I will be pissed off if there was ever a chance of getting a Clerks 4. I don't want it. I don't need it. No one should ask for it. But also, it is, like, this is kind of like the, this is the way, you know, you wanted to bring back the Viewer Skew universe for like this is like the encore, the ending of the encore for the Viewer Skew universe. You know, you had your goofy, you know, fun cartoon movie with Jen Silent Bob reboot, and this is like, you know, the ending of the epilogue. Like, say, like when a band, like they're about, you know, during their farewell tour, they do their final show, and then it's like, good night, everybody.
Yeah.
This is Kevin Smith's good night, everybody of the Viewer Skew universe.
Yeah. But we do have one more film to talk about after this.
Don't we?
And I feel like everything past this, it's almost like I feel like it can't be canon. Like it has to be like, this is like DLC. This is like post-epilogue exercises in having a bit of fun sort of thing.
Yeah.
And we do because, you know, our completionist hearts are forcing us to do this. We're going to chat a little bit about the 4:30 movie. And here's a bit of the trailer.
She is unlike any nun you've ever met, and she's got a secret.
How come the nuns were never secret hookers when we were in school?
Let's see what's under that wig.
Oh, hell no! Say a prayer for Sister Sugar Walls.
What?
We're definitely seeing that.
May 25th, 1986. Today is a big day. Last summer, I was too scared to ask out Melody Barnegat, the raddest woman I ever met. But this morning, I invited her to the movies, and she said,
Okay.
seriously? Hold on 1 second. Cool. I'll see you at the 4:30 movie, Melody Barnegat.
I'll see you at the 4:30 movie.
So the 4:30 movie, to me, feels a bit like a surprise for Kevin Smith.
It certainly was a fucking surprise for me. I didn't even know this thing existed until you showed me like the itinerary of episodes we were going to do, and I'm like, what the fuck is the 4:30 movie?
Yeah.
I was kind of pissed off as well there. It's like, are you kidding me? He made a film after Clerks 3? Like, oh my god.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't know that this exists because it felt like there was zero marketing to this.
Completely zero marketing.
Again, like none for us because in Australia, again, no theatrical distribution.
Yeah.
Like we had to rent this on Apple TV, and this essentially is a little bit of like an 80s nostalgia piece about young love and simpler times and Kevin Smith almost like trying to get in on this like reliving his adolescence sort of thing. And what did you think about him going to this sort of, again, it's his super sentimentality, but more of like a period piece now?
I went into this intentionally just completely blind. Did not read the plot synopsis, nor the cast, nor anything. So all I knew about it was just it involved like, you know, going to a movie theater. And while I am pissed, it pissed me off that like, you know, we had to talk about another film post Clerks 3 because that would have been the perfect fucking final movie to talk about. But that being said, I thought I liked it. I thought it was cute. I think that's a good way to describe this. It's cute. It does still have the Kevin Smith heart. I don't love it. Like, it's not really that great, but I think it's a fine movie, honestly. It's fine.
It is definitely forgettable. I would say it's also very cookie cutter. Like, as in, like, it is just a teen romance.
Yeah, no, completely.
Clean, and, like, there's already a mold there, you know?
You know what I kind of thought about this movie is that, like, it's almost like Kevin Smith saw Licorice Pizza and kind of wanted to do his own version of it.
Isn't it fucking hilarious, right, that the last two directors that we did, PTA and Tarantino, isn't it weird that they both ended with the same thing? A bit of a nostalgia piece about their favorite, like, era and growing up and falling in love with movies.
And with the eras, like, you know, like, going in sequential order with Tarantino, the late 60s, PTA, it was like
it was the 70s?
like the early, was it the early 70s?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, the early 70s, and then here we are in the mid 80s kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's fucking insane.
Is it not fucking weird? And all with a glossy, sun-kissed flair.
Yeah, man.
This one has so much fucking gloss to it. And yeah, it's cute, but it still feels amateur, and like, this is personal, but almost like, you know what I like about this being an additional one on top of Clerks 3? Is that it feels like that thematically, a lot of his viewer-skewed universe movies are like, it's sort of thematically on the same path.
Yeah.
Where this feels like it's on its own sort of course.
Yeah, right.
It's like this one talking about the sentimentality of young love, which, fucking Licorice Pizza, hardcore.
Legit, but at least, like, the love interest in Licorice Pizza actually had a character.
Yeah.
We'll get into that. We'll get into that in a minute. Yeah.
It's there's not a lot to write home about with this, right?
No.
And even like in interviews, Kevin Smith says like, it's a simple movie. It's simple. It's nothing's complex about this one.
Yeah.
And fuck, he's right. There's no real layers and depth here.
There is a little, like, obviously there's a little bit of a layer with the film with, like, obviously, like, I feel that the main character, I don't remember his name, but, like, obviously, like, his love for film and all that kind of stuff, and, like, how, that conversation that he has with the worker at the cinema, how they're talking about their love for film and everything like that. Obviously, like, that's when it kind of clicked for me. It's like, okay, this is, like, kind of Kevin Smith, like, kind of almost, like, reminiscing on his own childhood kind of thing.
Oh, 110%.
Yeah, which I can't believe was lost on me throughout the entire film, but then once we get to that segment, I'm like, okay, this makes sense. So, at the very least, while this film does feel a bit inconsequential and, like, I would have preferred if, it didn't happen so we could end this on Clerks 3, it at least has somewhat of a purpose in terms of Kevin Smith, Smith's more, introspective era, you know?
Well, it's like essentially a Clerks prequel that we're getting, right?
Yeah, in a way, yeah.
Yeah.
In a way, yeah.
And also with this character being named Brian, right? Brian O'Halloran playing Dante, who Dante is Kevin Smith.
Yeah,
there's a little bit of a weird, a roundabout way there. And I feel it's a bit interesting because it's Austin Zager again that's like playing this.
Yeah.
Bit interesting for Austin that he's playing his girlfriend's dad.
Wait,
in a movie?
Wait a minute. You're telling me the kid that plays Brian is the same guy that plays Blockchain?
Yeah, it's the same dude.
What the fuck?
Yeah, have you not?
I didn't catch on to that.
I'm very surprised that you didn't notice.
Fuck? Yeah, no, I didn't.
Yeah. Okay. Well. Yeah.
Again, because Blockchain was such a nothing burger character to me, so I didn't really. Yeah, it didn't cross my mind.
Austin, a million times more charming in this one.
He was a bit annoying, honestly.
Really?
I found him kind of. Like in a way, it's like I did see a bit of I saw quite a bit of myself in him. But it was a dance almost between he's really endearing and like he does have charm, and then the next scene I'd be like, oh my god, shut the fuck up, dude, please. But I feel like I liked him more than I didn't, honestly.
Well, okay, how about the rest of the characters?
He's no Preston from fucking Can't Hardly Wait.
Oh my god.
Other characters, they're fine. I do like his kind of broy kind of he's like broy kind of dude. Like he's more macho friend.
Yeah, his name's Bernie. He's like the ladies' man.
Yeah, I liked Bernie. He was fine, I guess. He had some funny lines, sure, but like there was. I immediately, just seeing their dynamic, I can immediately see what they were going to do with it. There was nothing new nor surprising about his character or their dynamic. Meanwhile, the other guy, the guy that kind of looks like...
Belly is his name.
Belly?
Belly is his name.
He kind of looks like... Do you know the internet lolcow Daniel Larson?
I don't.
Okay,
sorry.
well, to those who do know, throughout the entire film, I just thought he looked like Daniel Larson, and that was funny, but also I was just like, it was just like, it didn't really do anything for me, honestly.
He had this Arlo from Skins look to him, I thought, from third generation of Skins.
I haven't seen it.
Don't know if anyone... Very deep reference there. But then there's fucking Ken Jeong is in this, and Ken Jeong went on the main press tour was Kevin and Ken going around, and it's Ken Jeong's new movie, and it's he is in a couple of fucking scenes.
Well, he's supposed to be kind of like the main opposing. He's basically the main villain in the film, for lack of a better word. And the second I saw him in the casting credits, I'm just like, okay, he's gonna do the Ken Jeong thing, and he basically does. Honestly, actually, you know what he does, but it kind of almost feels like he doesn't want to be in this film. I didn't get a sense is almost kind of doing his kind of shtick on autopilot. I got more enjoyment out of him doing the Ken Jeong shtick in the 3 scenes he was in Transformers 3. Awful movie, really funny, but awful movie. But I got more joy, and I could sense that he was having a better time in that terrible film than in this. You know,
I did not know that he was in Transformers 3. Okay,
wow, okay, it is. Oh, bro, it's. You have to watch it with friends, and you have to watch it while drunk. You have to watch all those movies with people, man.
Okay, substances.
You watch it by yourself. I watched it by myself as a kid. It is a fucking chore to get through.
Oh no. Okay, well, yeah, I agree with you that he doesn't really offer anything here, and I feel this is quite cartoony, and I wish they did a little bit more with making it any sort of plot point that wasn't just the fucking logical next step. As in it takes every logical next step in this. It's not as vulgar. It's more of a family friendly Kevin Smith too. As in maybe not this isn't an MA, this is an M. You can show your 13-year-old this and they get a bit of chuckles with some sex jokes. And you could see that they had fun making this.
Yeah. And I had a decent amount of fun watching it, even if I didn't love it. I did have fun, and I was like, this is a breezy watch. I wasn't bored per se, but it's just a film that I'm just it's alright, It's very harmless, and that's fine, but it doesn't really offer that much apart from just a decent way to kill an hour and a half with the tiniest bit of substance. but you know, especially following Clerks 3 and hell, even Silent Bob reboots, like it's very much diminishing returns in terms of this more introspective Kevin Smith.
Like, I would say that the most fun to be had in this movie is when they do a bit of the Grindhouse thing and put the fake trailers in the middle.
I did like that.
That's fun, and you get Jason Biggs, you get Harley Quinn Smith,
you get Logic the Rapper for some
Logic
reason.
the Rapper, like you get like a lot of stuff like that, which I think is quite fun.
That was cute, yeah.
And also it feels unique, and like that these people, like no one else could have made these. Like this is its own sort of brand of little, like, you know, Kevin Smith and co having fun.
Yeah.
Where the whole rest of the movie feels like it could have been anyone making it.
Legit though, no, you are so right. It feels like, anyone could have made this film.
Yeah, and then like it's all romance too, where the romance didn't really work for me all that much.
Yeah, because the female character has no character. She is
doesn't.
legitimately just a reward. Look, I will say this, is that like near the end of the film, when she actually has more time to actually say lines that aren't just like, oh, I'll see you at the movie, and why didn't you make a move on me? You know, like when she actually is like, I thought that the final conversation between her and Brian, I thought was like, you know, it was nice because, you know, it taps into that kind of like that nostalgia that you have, like, you know, like everyone when they're younger, they have this moment, you know, they have those moments where, like, you know, they're talking to the girl that they really like or the guy they really like, and, you know, you're having those like earnest, like cutesy kind of like nervous conversations. You know, you feel like I felt emotionally invested during those scenes, but that's more so just because I'm projecting my own experiences into that film rather than the film actually doing the work kind of thing. I feel like my projections were doing more of the work, you know?
Yeah, totally.
They're fine. Like, sorry to interrupt, but like they're fine on their own, but like they're elevated because of like you know, me and I'm assuming you projecting ourselves into that scenario.
The Moonrise Kingdom effect, right?
Yeah, legit.
It's like if you haven't had these sort of awkward little butterflies in your stomach love moments as a child, then like it's lost on you.
Yeah, no, completely.
You cannot watch it objectively and get anything out of it. I feel it has to be like this subjective experience.
I will say that there is no like sense of nuance in a way that Licorice Pizza did, though.
Yeah.
Like even though I don't love Licorice Pizza, and I wasn't completely in love or like involved between the relationship between Alma Haim and Cooper Hoffman, that had layers to it. That it was complicated. It was toxic. It was beautiful. It was like endearing. It was like so like a big rush of emotion. Like that's how romance feels, especially young love. That's how it, like young love or just love in general. That's how it feels. With this, it was a much more. It was a romanticized version of romance in a way.
Yeah, you know? Totally, man. So then like this whole movie ends, and we get this last shot after like the whole romance arc goes forward, the whole movie like passion arc goes forward, and like, just in case you didn't see and feel and hear that this movie is like this sort of like biography again of the adolescence of Kevin Smith. There's this last shot of Brian looking at the quick stop.
Oh my
and it's a stable shot. It's like it looks like an inserted image.
Oh my god, yeah. No. I will say yes, it is an inserted image from like probably like from leftover footage from Clerks 3.
Yeah.
I will say though that it did like look, it's just, you know, like a comic book fan watching like the MCU films or whatever, and they see a character or something that they recognize and they, you know, they point, they saw your face, they go excited. I can't help the fact that I got like that. But you know what I really got a kick out of is that, you know, the last one that we did this marathon where we ended with Silent Bob Reboot, and how the final shot of that film during that marathon was it panning away from the quick stop. I did quite like that the final film that we watched for this marathon during this era was a shot of the quick stop, and I got very happy because I remember taking a photo of the quick stop shot back during our last marathon, and I managed to do the same thing again with the same text and everything.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah,
very nice.
Final Kevin Smith in the marathon. Oh god, I fucked it up. I was supposed to say Kevin Smith movie in the marathon. God damn! I only just know what the fuck. I just noticed this now. But it's, all right, whatever. Oh, you know, I'm not changing it. But like, it's still, you get what I, you get. What I mean. Same
it's your own charm.
Same emojis and everything. You know,
it's the last 3 Kevin Smith movies, excluding Kilroy's here. The last shot is of the quick stop.
Yeah.
It's
true,
like
true.
Jane Silent Bob reboot. Clerks 3 is the panning out shot of now the quick stop with Ghost Dante behind the counter, and now we have it here.
Yeah,
and. What this tells me is that, like, of course, this is a romance movie, but fuck, this is a romance movie about his romance with the store. Like, Kevin Smith...
The store?
The store.
Right, okay.
Like,
even though the store just appears at the literal final 5 seconds?
Yeah, it's the last final note. It is, like,
right.
and that's like...
But do you think that's what the film is about?
Passion, I think so, man. I think it's what his filmography is almost about, and what he keeps on coming back to. He cannot escape the fucking quick stop.
I see. Yeah.
Is that like... And he talks about this, right? That no matter what, like he said that he hated the store when he was a kid, when he was like working there.
Yeah, it'd be a great job if it went for the fucking customers.
Yeah, but then he keeps on fucking going back, a movie after movie after movie, and also he owes everything to this store. He can't help but make movies about it, even when it's not seemingly about it.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
It's all about this formation of him, and this final shot that we're left with is his roots once again. And like it's like he can't get sentimental or romantic almost at this era of his life without owing it to the force that got him there in the first place. Right,
yeah.
And that's mostly what I took from this movie, to be honest.
That's a fair point.
Yeah. Do you have any final thoughts, really?
Not really, but like, you know, I'll say this is it. Like, again, it's a film that like I kind of wish never existed, you know, due to being selfish, like, you know, like the final film that would have been Clerks 3 would have been the perfect book ending. And while I don't like, I'm not happy that we had to talk about this film because obviously, like, it doesn't feel like a Kevin Smith movie. It's not really that great of a movie. I didn't get nearly enough of an emotional reaction out of this compared to Clerks 3, despite our issues with said film. But that being said, I think it's a cute little epilogue of an epilogue, almost, you know, like it's a nice little you know, excerpt into Kevin Smith kind of reliving this kind of origin story in a sense. It's almost like a Kevin Smith origin story, but it's like it's a film that maybe should have been made maybe 10 years earlier, you know, like this, you know, like the whole 80s nostalgia. Why not make this film during 2016? Fuck Yoga Hosers. Make this film during 2016 kind of thing.
He's late to the party.
Exactly, man. Like the whole 80s nostalgia. Like make it during when Stranger Things was like the show, you know? And then, it's same with like Stranger Things Season 5. It's like, that's coming out literally 10 years almost after the show debuted. That is insane to think about. And it's like, he's making this almost 10 years after this whole 80s nostalgia craze has been done to death.
I think that, like, what this movie does do, though, at least, and even though that I'm not really picking up what he's putting down, is that at least it's refreshing that, like what I said in the last episode, right, that he's made this promise to himself that it's like he will only make movies that he wants to make, that are for him, that are like his movies. He's only concerned now in making more Kevin Smith movies.
Yeah, and that's at least a nice takeaway from this. Yeah,
and that's what his whole first phase of the View Askew universe was, right? Is that with like ending with Jane Silent Bob Strike Back, is that he couldn't get away from the quick stop.
Yeah.
And then he goes through this whole second act of his career where he's trying to get away. He's trying to cause his distance, show that he's more than that.
Yeah.
And it doesn't work until he's come to accept his mortality, who he is and where he comes from, and return back, if anything, like consistent as all fuck, right?
Yeah.
Like that he owes everything to this store, and that's almost like the greatest love of his life.
Yes, that is good. That is an excellent fucking point, man.
And even when it does feel like an epilogue of an epilogue, where we're leaving off from Clerks in the mid-90s to They were back at the Quick Stop again, but now he's cast the life partner of his daughter to play him, and he's instilling and trying to build up this next generation, and share his roots with them.
Yeah.
And maybe not the worst place to end off this filmography.
I'm from New Jersey. My mom's Italian. I've read those mafia books. We don't belong. There are girls from New Jersey who have that great.
And don't forget to check out our Facebook page at MarathonMeOfficial, all one word, and our Instagram, MarathonMe_official, to keep up to date on the podcast. And hey, if you want to get into contact with us, email us at marathonmepodc, yes, the letter C, @gmail.com. Like podcast without the ask.